Alright, so video number 3, finding the magnitude and direction of a vector. And like I said, I'll have 4 examples. I'll have examples 1, 2, 3, and 4. And each example will be a vector in the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Okay, and this video, example 3, the vector is going to be in the third quadrant. So the magnitude of a vector u, which equals AB, is given by the magnitude of u is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. It's just this squared plus this squared. And the direction angle theta satisfies tangent theta is equal to b over a, and a is not equal to 0. Okay, so this is what we use to find theta, and it's just b over a. Alright, so let's look at example 3. So find the magnitude and direction angle, and just like we've done in the other videos, we'll want to graph this. Okay, so if I plot this point, -2, -3, I'll go over -2 and down -3. Okay, and so the vector is in the third quadrant. And notice I didn't count 1, 2, and go down 1, 2, 3. I don't really care exactly where it is. All I'm really concerned about is what quadrant it's in. Okay, and we can see that this is in the third quadrant. So here's theta. Okay, so let's go ahead and find the magnitude. So the magnitude is equal to the square root of -2 squared plus -3 squared. So that will be 4 plus 9. So that's the square root of 13. There's my magnitude. Now let's find the direction angle, theta. Okay, so remember we use tangent theta is b over a, so that's -3 over -2. So tangent theta is positive 3/2. Okay, so look at this. If I do the inverse tangent of 3/2, I get 56.31 degrees if I round it to 2 decimals. Okay, that's not that angle. You see that? So that's why you always want to graph it. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here, yeah, I mean, a negative over negative, that is a positive. Okay, but the 56.31, that's an angle in the first quadrant. Okay, I'm going to let this is going to represent my reference angle. Okay, and so I get theta prime, and the prime, all that means is this is my reference angle. Okay, we need to find our reference angle, this angle right here. That's theta prime is 56.31 degrees. Okay, that's why it's important to graph these things. Okay, so you can see, because I mean, just think, if you didn't graph this and you just did the inverse tangent of this, you would write this down as your answer, and that would be incorrect. Okay, because that's not the angle. Okay, so we graph it and we notice, well, you know what, when I do the inverse tangent of 3/2, that gives me 56.31. Well, that's my reference angle, because if you remember back from reference angles, remember theta equaled your reference angle if theta was in the first quadrant. Okay, and of course whenever you take the inverse tangent of a positive number, that's going to give you an angle in the first quadrant. And so we know that when we do the inverse tangent of this, it's going to give us that angle in the first quadrant, but we know that's not our direction angle because we're in the third quadrant. So what we're doing is we're saying, well, you know what? it's in the first quadrant, that's our reference angle. And we're going to use the reference angle to find theta. Very important that you understand reference angles in trig, and even when you're doing vectors. Okay, so now theta is going to be what? That's what, 180 plus this part, which is our reference angle. So that's 180 plus the reference angle. So let's see, 180 plus 56.31. That is going to give us 236.31 degrees. And there is your direction angle. All right, so I hope it didn't confuse you on that. Just remember, draw it. Draw the vector. Okay. All right. So thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. Give me a like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.